Exciting. Harimoto to start off this best of 7 men's singles final. And Harimoto blasts the next 2 shots. It was a semi-final match. Timo Boll had 2 amazing comebacks. Timo Boll out to test out Harimoto, see how he would play. Conditioning in the room. Quite a master when it comes to change of pace and also change of spin. Heavy rotation on the backhand, takes the ball from the middle with the forehand. Spin, and he does have unusual technique. A little bit different than anybody else in the world tour. Match against one of the 2 strongest Chinese players, arguably the strongest Chinese player here, Shui Fei. Games in a row against Shui Fei. Early in this rally. Racket speed, heavy spin drive. He's taking it. Used to making that shot. 7 game points to Harimoto. It's a long road in a best of 7, and Timo Boll's a comeback artist. Game 2 coming up right after this. The table that he didn't like. Typically, the side he was on was the side people lose on early in the matches. From down low. Game ended up winning 4-0. After that was the match against Shui Fei. Before going back out wide to the forehand side. Oh, has. After beating Shui Fei, Garel, Timo Boll dominated 4-0. Not easy to do. And then Emmanuel Lebesson, 4-0 as well. Him up. One thing the table tennis world knows, Harimoto is a fighter, and a fiery fighter at that. Phased by it. This is something we saw with Timo Boll against Shui Fei. He's just in position quite often. Anticipates so well. That the rest of the world doesn't. All to the point, Harimoto with the last shot to make it. Just a punch of a backhand. Sits in a little bit, heavy topspin. Harimoto really familiar with how closed he needs to be when heavy topspin comes in. But Timo Boll behind the table leads 10-3, just like Harimoto did in game 1. Short it was, but tried anyway. 1 game point saved. Timo Boll with 2 demolishing performances, 1 for each of the players, and it's tied up. 1 game apiece. We'll see who takes the lead in game 3 coming up right after this. It was game 3 where Harimoto was leading 5-1 last time they played. So, yeah, game 3, 5-1 lead for Harimoto in China, and then game 4, an 8-1 lead for Harimoto. 8-1, and Harimoto couldn't take the game. Controlling it, keeping the ball in play, putting it out to the open table. like there was a bit of side spin on this. This was like a backhand chop attack. If that comes down, that point's going to be in the highlights. Tell you about Harimoto in a moment. I wonder how it would have done against Timo Boll. Excellent. Boll's flexibility from the middle. If this ball's a little bit wider the backhand, Timo Boll's going to have a counter the opposite way, but the pace is good too. Not a lot of time for preparation or a backswing from Timo. Oh. Nice change, big counter attack. Timo Boll trying to do the same. He's a bit far behind the table though. A little bit less threatening. Hit. He was sort of like, I think that hit, but it was a very timid, almost kind and polite response. Break up 7-5. Now Tomokazu Harimoto in the opening round played the pride of Kazakhstan, Kirill Gerasimenko, an incredible match that could have ended the tournament for Harimoto. A few big opportunities for Gerasimenko. It was a 4-3 victory for Harimoto though. After that, Maharu Yoshimura 4-2, and after that, Christian Carlsen yesterday. This tournament, arguably, was Harimoto versus Ugo Calderano. Taking this game is going to be quite important for Timo Boll, I think. When Timo Boll's come back, again, only 2 times in my life I feel like I've seen Harimoto deflated. Not quite at that level yet, I don't think anybody is. You have to imagine at some point it'll happen. Of ideas just looked deflated. Was against Shushin late in the match at the World Championships, and against Timo Boll after Timo Boll's comebacks in games 3 and 4. Timo Boll with the most quality backhands we've seen, and the pressure comes back from Harimoto time and time again. The focus. This could go down in one of the all-time classics for Timo Boll. We see shots like this against Ma Long. Put it in the Timo Boll all-time greats right now. Forget the top 10. This is career highlights right here from Timo Boll, and he takes the game with it. What a way to finish the 3rd game. Stick around. Game 4 coming up right after this. Ages, and the way Game 3 finished, every seed here should be continuing a streak after taking the lead 2-1 in games. But that he was more capable of winning. Game 1. Nice forehand. Players get used to blocking well on the backhand side, creating angles, and even stepping around the backhand corner. A little bit off. Again, he doesn't have a lot of time to react on these backhands. Look how short the first forehand stroke is. And this backhand holds the racket way out in front, bends the wrist back just a little bit for the counter. Whoa! Chop block and a backhand tomahawk attack. Right down the middle again. And on Harimoto's side, He's not talking to his father and personal coach, but to the national team coach, Yosuke Kurashima. It's interesting. We saw a close-up of Tomokazu Harimoto in his blinks while he's focusing before the point. Very similar mannerisms to... Again, if he can find the middle on Timo Boll, it'll be to his advantage. Drying his hand in near the net on top of the table. This is clever. Very good eye, good hands. Harimoto counter right after. One more time here. Boll deep to the corner. Wow, Harimoto. Stops becoming surprising, though, when he pulls out excellent points so many times. Oh, the table. Harimoto going right to the line, and he has to take it as early as possible, considering his positioning. Way out in front with that backhand, so much wrist. So 2 games, second game here, tied up at 2 games apiece. Timo Boll, but Harimoto with the serve. It's tied up. This is the match we want to see. I think a lot of fans around the world would love to see this go 7 games. And Harimoto screams his way into game number 5, tied up. Stay right here. And fresh, Harimoto with the serve. Timo Boll started the break. Still played Timo Boll. He had beaten Vladimir Samsonov the same tournament. Beaten Shushin and Fan Zhendong in doubles. Look how fast he contacted the ball. Possible. He came back from down 1-8 last time they played. When I think about how much work it must take for Harimoto to be improving as quickly as he is, I think every time he loses a match, so blinks. Him and his father have the hereditary blinks. Doesn't always work out his way. Slapped back onto the table. Harimoto wins this point. That one right there barely turns the body, just a flat hit. What an unusual shot from that far away. There's 5 points of the game. Then 4 in a row for Timo. Very morale of Harimoto at the top of the screen. ITTF's Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram. Serving deep, the pendulum serve into the body can be very effective. That was not the last point. Timo Boll setting up his 3rd ball, though, in the last point. There it is. Goes the other way. A few times now, it seems to be a sweet spot on the table for him. It's a risky shot because Timo's not leaving a lot of room there. He'd have to lob from the backhand side. He does not want to get far from the table. 3 points in a row for Harimoto. But Harimoto does something that many players will not do so well. He takes his time, positions his feet, and moves back in just a little bit. Keeping his balance well. That's 4 game points here for Harimoto. He doesn't let Timo Boll score another point. Harimoto goes up 3 games to 2, 1 game away from a title, not just any title, but a title over Timo Boll. Stay right here. Game 6 coming right up. From beating the 3-time world #1, Timo Boll. despite a tough loss in China in the final. See him block a little bit more gently, not putting a lot of forward motion on the ball. Oh, Timo well. Split the first 6 points, 3 each. Look how fast that backhand is. Then a little bit softer, leaves it out in front because Timo Boll's way behind the table. Smart play from Harimoto. Wow. Second point in a row he's been apologizing. Not sure if it was a slight net early on in the rally. New ball introduced, as they often are here in this tournament. Timo Boll over to the corner to talk to Rossi. Jorg Roskopf. Placement on the table. I mean, there's so many factors here. Harimoto has so much going for him right now. That's what it takes to be playing at this level. I mean, he's had some very difficult opponents. Hugo Calderano taking revenge on Kenta Matsudaira in this tournament, coming very close to beating Harimoto for the first time. Harimoto with Kirill Gerasimenko, who I believe will be in the top 100 relatively soon. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, what I like so much, and Harimoto handles it very well. Gets this one back in play, and Boll with a quick reaction out wide to the forehand. With Harimoto. Edge of the racket. It will not come. Quality points here again. The fast pace of play from the start to this rally. The start of the rally to the finish, that is. This game, he took 2 points in a row with that service. Excellent acceleration. The wrist is so strong from Harimoto. Sure, the corner. Softens up just a little bit on this last ball. More of a punch, a little bit less spin on it, I guess, there to review. Another soft. We've seen Timo Boll handle pressure so many different ways throughout this tournament. You could argue that Dima handled the pressure much, much better. Spin to the forehand. See one more time. Mostly side spin, not as much top spin as appeared on it. Harimoto straight to the heart. 6, and Harimoto has the serves. Ooh, the big championship point. Harimoto ever under 21 singles title to the youngest ever World Junior Champion, and now a World Tour title holder. If I'm not mistaken, this could break the record by almost 2 years. I'm sure Ian Marshall and ITTF will release a press release about this soon, but a thrilling match to witness live and to commentate, of course. Tomokazu Harimoto keeping the world hopes up and keeping the Chinese national team watching him, keeping an eye out, and he's not there yet, but he's on his way. Let's see what the future holds. It's a bright future ahead for the champion. Stick around, we'll have the awards ceremony.